What's going on, everybody? It's Saturday. It is May 23rd. Hope you're doing all right. So a few days ago, I noticed that the Back to the Future trilogy was on Netflix. Didn't think anything of it. I have the Blu-rays of all three Back to the Future movies. I'm also eagerly awaiting a 4K Blu-ray release of this series because I think it'll look fantastic. These actually look really good in HD, and I think the 4K versions will look even better. I think those are going to come out this year. I heard rumors a while ago that those are coming out this year. I'm really excited. I cannot wait to get those in 4K. But anyway, remember, you need to save your physical copies, and it's because of the reason that I'm going to go over right now. So Back to the Future 2 had an edit, and it was a really strange edit. It really didn't make any sense. What happened was, there's no spoiler tags here. If you haven't seen these movies by now, I don't know why, but there's a sports almanac. You all know what I'm talking about. It lines up in young Biff's hands, and that's the whole reason they go back to the past. And then there's a scene where Marty gets the magazine, and he thinks he has it because it's in the trash, and he notices that it's just the cover covering a Ooh La La magazine. It's essentially a Sears catalog of just women in their underwear, basically. There's nothing really that taboo about it, but they jump cut it. So it's him going, ooh la la, and you don't see the cover of the magazine. Originally, you got to see the ooh la la cover. That's cut out. It's a really quick jump edit. It's a really bad edit also, by the way. And I don't know what's going on. It could have been a mistake or something. But that's the version that was on Netflix. This, of course, enraged people. Like, what's your problem? Why are you changing this? It's really, and this is why I like to call NPCs Puritans, because, this is literally, like I said, a Sears catalog level of a girly magazine. So people found it, and they found out pretty quick because, like most of us, all of us that are fans of these movies have seen them bajillions of times, and we could probably quote the movies word for word. Everyone's going to notice the edit. So one of the reasons why I like the creators, and this will get to the point. I'm going to get to the point. Don't worry. One of the reasons I like the people, the director and the writer, Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, the guys who created and wrote Back to the Future, the writer and the director. I'm sorry. One of the reasons I like them is because they get a lot of questions like, "Oh, how about a fourth movie?" Or what about a reboot? And they basically say over our dead bodies. Not while we're alive. Not going to happen. Which I like. There's no need to reboot these movies. They're perfect. They actually hold up really well. Like, you can introduce these movies to anybody and they can appreciate them. There's no need to reboot Back to the Future. Other than making money. You want to just rake coals over its corpse and try to make quick cash cow off of it. That's the only reason to make it. And they know that. So they're like, nah, I don't think so. Maybe when we're dead, you can go ahead and make another Back to the Future. They have some kind of clause in their contract that prevents the studio from creating or messing with the series. So they can't reboot and they can't make a sequel, which I'm happy about. There's no need to make a sequel to this series. I think the series has a pretty definitive ending. If you really want a sequel, go play the Tall Tales game. It's actually not a bad game. That does exist. There you go. I don't want to see a Back to the Future 4, and I don't want to see a reboot. It's fine how it is. Leave it alone. I think most people agree with that. I hate endless sequels when they don't make any sense. But like I was saying, I really respect the creators of this franchise because they really do well by it. So as soon as Bob Gale found out about that Netflix edit, he got it fixed. And he told Universal Studios to destroy that version of the film. He said, I don't want that existing. That's not the version I created. Leave it alone. And he didn't even know that existed. So the story behind that is actually kind of the same thing that happened with Rise of the Skywalker. Do you remember in Rise of the Skywalker, that one lady gives the other rebellion lady a kiss at the end of the movie? It was like 2 seconds and you missed it, right? They did that intentionally because that way countries that have a problem with that stuff, they can just cut it out. But hey, so stunning and brave, right? I like how none of the press criticized that. Basically, it's the same thing. They created that version for countries that have a problem with it. Problem is Bob Gale doesn't like that, and he wanted that version destroyed. This is why I like Bob Gale and Zemeckis, because they have some principle. Bob Gale's asking fans not to be hard on Netflix for a censored version of Back to the Future 2, which was streaming for a short while. Fans of the series were irate when they discovered a tiny portion of the 1989 sequel was changed poorly. It was very poorly. It has since been replaced with the standard version. The alteration happened when Marty finds the Ooh La La magazine within the Sports Almanac dust cover. That moment was cut short. The cover of the magazine was edited out. Gale, the screenwriter of the beloved trilogy, explained what happened and why it was not Netflix's fault. The blame is on Universal, who somehow furnished Netflix an edited version of the movie. Gale said, "I learned about it some 10 days ago from an eagle-eyed fan and had the studio rectify the error. The version now runs uncensored, unedited, and is the original version." He continued, "Apparently this was a foreign version which neither director Bob Zemeckis nor myself even knew existed for some country that had a problem with the Ooh La La magazine cover. I asked that the studio destroy this version. FYI, Netflix does not edit films. They only run the versions that are supplied to them, so they are blameless. You can direct your ire at Universal, but I think they will be a lot more careful in the future and with the future. All three Back to the films are currently streaming on Netflix." So that's the whole story right there. Now you know what's funny to me though out of this is Netflix says, "All right, we want to air these movies." Universal gives them the edited version. It's like, what do you have, 2 copies there, and you give them the edited version? It's very strange, and I think that I wonder, is Netflix really? Are they really blameless in here? Because there's 2 copies. It's funny to me you give them that copy. It's almost like the edited version was preferred. Did they even know, well, we got this more family-friendlier version? I don't know. I wonder, why was that the version that was given? It's funny to me. That's why I call the SJW. That's why I call them Puritans, They have a problem with a girl on a Sears catalog. You know what I'm saying? It's strange. I don't understand them, but I respect Bob and Zemeckis. They have some principles which, you just don't see a lot of that in Hollywood, and I like that they stand up for these movies and that they respect them, and that they respect the fans too. They're always trying to give fans a lot of love and a lot of credit for the movies and their success and how they've held up, and I think they're pretty classy dudes. Anyway, that's it. Shorter video. What do you guys think about this? Why do you think they gave Netflix that edited version? Do you think that Netflix saw there was 2 versions and requested the edited version? What are your thoughts on that? I'm really conflicted there because I wonder if they saw it and said, "Oh, we don't want woke Twitter to get upset." It's interesting. I think I'd like to know. We'll never know, but either way, at least the real version is back, and I hope these guys live a long time so that our movies don't get screwed up. Anyway. Yeah, leave me your thoughts on that, guys. Also, if you would, throw a like up, share the video. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Also, make sure you're still subscribed. People are getting unsubscribed again. I see it in my comments, so make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. And that's it. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.